What's going on, YouTube, and welcome to this week's vlog. Look, now my light is like too bright. This week things are going to be a little bit different. I'm going to, of course, take you on through my day, but I'm also going to show you what I'm going to eat, which is the same, duh, Amber. And then we are actually going to be leaving here in about an hour and a half to go to Abilene, which is like a nice little town north. I don't know. Ever since I moved to Texas, my directional sensation has been off. But Abilene's another town about an hour and a half away for a tattoo removal appointment. And I figured since my last tattoo removal appointment video got so many questions on it, especially because I only showed a little bit of it, I decided to do one just on it, and maybe if the technician has time, we can talk to her, go over some questions and everything for you guys, so that way you're aware. And I'm going to get started on breakfast. Since San Angelo does not have a Chipotle here, we are going to be getting a Chipotle over in Abilene because treat yourself, that's why. But it's not untracked, it's still tracked. I calculated out what exactly I was all going to get last night and put it into my Fitness Pal, so that way that is taken care of. I think that's about it. I'm going to cook breakfast. I'll show you what I'm having after, and yeah. Alright guys, so no surprise, of course, today's breakfast is going to be egg whites. I'll just put you here. Today's breakfast is going to be egg whites, no ketchup, which I'm actually really sad about because I like ketchup. We also have some banana here as my fruit. I have my oatmeal here this morning with some peanut butter melting in it, of course. Some coffee with coconut creamer, and then my vitamins. So that's about it. One thing that I did want to point out actually is my training macros are different than my non-training macros, if that makes sense. So usually I split my macros up pretty evenly on days that I'm not training, but on days that I do train, I have more carbs right before and right after my workout, and that's just so that way I fuel my muscles a little bit better. With the Chipotle, I surprisingly still hit my training day macros. I'm just a little bit over on protein for lunch and dinner, but my fats and my carbs actually all evened out. It's actually kind of nice, I'm not going to lie. Now, of course, there's only so much that you can do because you can only control how much food that they're actually portioning you out in, how they cook it, and all this other stuff. Their online nutrition calculator maybe not be the best thing, but it actually works out pretty well, I'm not going to lie. So I'm probably going to eat half of it over in Abilene, eat the other half for dinner, and train shoulders when I get back. So I'm going to eat this, and I will see you in the next clip. Alright YouTube, so we are officially in Abilene. We're like on the outskirts. I'm running like 5 minutes late to my appointment, and that is just simply because Google did not tell me that there was a direct like dead stop or whatever in on the way, like in Braun. So I waited at a traffic stop thing for about 10 minutes, and that put me 5 minutes late to my appointment, but we're almost there, so that's at least the good news. Alright guys, so I actually just finished my appointment. Miss Tracy had back-to-back appointments today, so she didn't technically have time to answer my questions, and I didn't feel comfortable asking her necessarily to film in the room at that time. I did get a lot of information that I will relay to you guys after when I get home and everything, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of like the initial final response. So this is my tattoo. You can tell there's a little bit of redness and swelling going on with it. She did cover it with some gel, but all that redness and swelling is 100% normal. It's the immune response just reacting to, you know, laser and thermal injuries, thermal burn. Overall, it wasn't bad. a tattoo this size was a 30-minute session, so that was actually really cool, really good. But now we're going to find a Chipotle, figure out where to go, and call it a day here in Abilene. So, let's... so cold! Oh yeah, that's another thing. I get really cold after those appointments regardless of the time of year, only because you have to go in like a tank top, or I have to go in a tank top or something, so she has access. It gets really cold, so now I'm like freezing, but yeah. So, let's Chipotle. Alright guys, so Chipotle is 5 minutes away. I'm hungry. Let's go. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we are at Chipotle. I got a got to go because I don't want to sit in Chipotle and be all awkward, so I'd rather be antisocial in my car. I got a burrito bowl, and what I got in here was basically, if I can get it open, I got brown rice, double chicken, fajita veggies, light sour cream, light cheese, corn salsa, pico, and lettuce. Yeah, I'm so excited, so happy. We don't have Chipotle back in San Angelo, so this is like the highlight of my day and coming to Abilene. All together, according to their calculator, I'll put up like maybe like a screen recording of how to calculate your macros at Chipotle. But altogether, the macros for this isn't that bad. And you can go on their website and record it, like if you want light cheese, extra cheese, guac, all that, and it has the macros for all the different meats and everything as well. But altogether, this came out to be 810 calories for the whole bowl. I'm going to split it into 2 servings, but it's 30 grams of fat, 63.5 grams of carb, and 76 grams of protein as well, 8 grams of fiber. That's it guys. That's pretty much going to be my lunch and my dinner. Then we'll probably get gas and drive home. So I will see you there because I'm hungry and I want to eat now. So yeah. Alright guys, so welcome to the last portion of this video. It is currently like 6:30, so it's been about 5.5 hours post-treatment of my tattoo. As you can see, my tattooed arm, or the part that's removed, is a lot more swollen and red than one that has not been treated, and that's a normal response. So I wanted to use the last portion of this vlog basically to talk about and answer questions that you guys have asked me previously on my last tattoo removal. And as I said, Tracy was really booked today, so I wasn't able to sit down directly and talk and film her personally, but I did get a chance to ask her questions during my treatment that were asked towards me, and I feel like I can relay them on to you. The first question I get a lot is, of course, about me personally, why I'm choosing to remove a tattoo, the cost of it, how long it takes. So, as I explained in my last tattoo removal vlog or video where I touched upon it basically, I don't regret any of my tattoos that I got. Why I'm removing it is a personal decision, but basically I love the work that was done and everything like that. I think that the artist is phenomenal. It just wasn't done the way that I wanted it to be done, and it was too dark, and no other artist felt comfortable trying to put highlight in it to fix it. Basically, the only way to fix it is to either fade it out through a tattoo session or a removal session, or just get it completely removed and then get it what I want in return for that. As far as how long it takes, that's going to depend on the size of the tattoo that you are getting removed and the kind of technique that you are doing as well. In the sense of session time, a tattoo this size with Tracy takes about half an hour to do. Of course, if it were to be bigger, then as far as completion process, how long it's going to take, that's something that you would have to discuss with your technician themselves. I was estimating about 8 to 10 treatments. This is my third, and already, like, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's already some breakup of lines and fading of the stippling that is occurring, which is really good. So we're having a really good response so far. And as far as cost, guys, that's also something that's going to be determined by the size of your tattoo, what type of ink it is, what type of laser therapy is going to be done, and your technician. So I get my tattoos done by a Q-switch laser by Tracy, and for 30 minutes it's about $600. She charges by, I think it's square inch. So mine's about $600 a session, which is why I don't go all the time. It's more of a when I save up for it kind of a thing. The next question that a lot of people asked me about regarding the tattoo therapy and everything, or the tattoo removal therapy, is what kind of credentials do they have to have in order to participate in this? So I asked this to Tracy, and she said for each type of laser, you need the continuing education and the credentials for. So there's 3 different types of lasers that she uses there. She has the Q-switch and the ruby laser, and those are both the tattoo removal lasers. And then she also has what's called the Triton laser, and that's more for hair removal and everything too. So the next question, of course, that everyone was asking me is to explain the different types of lasers that can be used. What I get done is a Q-switch laser, which Tracy was explaining to me is the best for black and gray inks. And the Q-switch laser, I'll put a picture of it or something here, is obviously a laser that has 3 prongs on the end of it that uses white light to break up the particles. And the wavelengths of the laser is going to be a lot shorter, so it fires a lot faster, and that's basically to break down the molecules of the ink. Then she has what's called the ruby laser, which is powered by a ruby and transmits a red type of laser, and that, she explained, is better for bigger particle colors like blues and green. And because reds, blues, and greens all kind of attract and absorb the same kind of light, that is why a ruby laser is the best for that. It doesn't fire quite as fast, I guess, as the Q-switch, or quite as slow as the Q-switch. It fires faster, so it breaks up the particles, I guess, better. And basically the way to best determine which type of laser to use is to do your research, and of course is determined based off the type of ink that you guys do. So if you have a blue or green based tattoo and you want to get it removed, don't let somebody do it with a Q-switch laser, because Tracy said that if you were to do that, it would take pretty much twice as long to break down the ink and have the ink be reabsorbed into the body, basically. Many people wanted to know the answer to is what is a normal response to a tattoo removal. So basically a normal response is what's going on here now. It's essentially you're burning yourself. Like, think about what happens when you give yourself a really bad sunburn, how you get kind of really swollen and it's warm to touch and you might start peeling and everything. That's all normal. So like I showed you in the beginning, this arm is a lot more swollen than this arm, and that's because it's a localized inflammatory response. When the laser penetrates down into the skin, it's breaking up those ink particles into smaller pigments basically, and what happens is because you're burning yourself, it activates the immune response in the body and causes swelling, redness and everything, and allows white blood cells to go to that site and absorb the broken down particles of ink, which I think is a really cool concept, the fact that we were able to develop something like that and understand it. So props to whoever thought about Q-switch laser. That's a normal response, of course. She did mention things to look out for, which would include signs and symptoms of infection. So if you start running a fever, if there's any kind of abnormal drainage from the tattoo site. But she said that a majority of times she doesn't see anything like that. She only said that she personally only sees it if they blister after or scab and they start picking at it and exposing and putting it at risk for infection. That's when she starts seeing problems. Another thing that she mentioned is if you have a dye sensitivity to red dyes or anything like that and you have colored ink in your tattoos, it could be an issue and it might prolong your healing process if you have that kind of a sensitivity and you're breaking up red ink into your system, because it could potentially trigger an allergic reaction in you. So those are also patients and customers that she tends to watch a little bit more closely. Another question people were asking is how long to wait in between appointments. So generally, Tracy likes to wait, I believe it's 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 weeks post-treatment. So if I wanted to get one done immediately after this, I would have to wait until like the end of March, beginning of April to go back. Of course, if you were to go under any kind of surgery or procedure, she wants you to wait a little bit longer because she wants your immune system to basically be top-notch, so that way you have a good response to therapy and the treatment that you are getting, and it's not kind of wasting your money. Something else that she mentioned was you want to always tell your technician what kind of medications you are on, because sometimes certain medications, like for example some antibiotics like tetracyclines or antidepressants, they give you a photosensitivity or a sensitivity to the sun. That's why they tell you to increase your use of sunscreen when you take those. So you have to let your technicians know, because that's also going to determine the strength of the lasering that they do, and also the response that you're going to have and what kind of response that you're going to have as well. You don't want to sell yourself short and put yourself in a dangerous situation kind of a thing. So always let your technician know of any changes to your medical history or medications occur in between treatments, guys. So that is pretty much going to be it for this vlog. I wanted to kind of really sit down and talk to you guys about this because a lot of questions spurred up. If you guys have any questions at all, drop them down into the comment box below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you want to see more content like this where I involve you guys in like tattoo removals or anything else in my daily life. I know that I didn't do a lot of full day of eating today. I didn't want this video to be too long, but it looks like it's going to be probably pretty lengthy. So like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I will link Tracy's business down below. It's Big Country Laser Therapy. They just changed their name from Abilene Tattoo Removal and everything, because they now do a wide variety of services, not only tattoo removal but also laser hair removal as well. Highly recommend, if you are in San Angelo or Abilene or within a close drive to Abilene, checking them out. Let them know I sent you, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.